Hello and welcome. I'm Susan from Susan's World of Yoga, and in this video I'd like to show you a couple of movements that will help to strengthen the arms, ready for doing slightly stronger positions in yoga that use upper body strength. Now, both of these movements that I'm going to show you come from a tabletop position, so please have a little look at one of my other videos all about getting the foundations of tabletop position correct before you move on to these couple of movements for arm strengthening. So let's get into tabletop. Let's bring our hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips. Spread those fingers wide and engage the core. And what I mean by that is not sinking into the shoulders, not dipping the back. So making sure that those backs are flat, those tummy buttons are lifting, and that everything is subtly working before we start. Now with the arms, I want you to make sure the elbow creases are pointing towards each other to begin with for this posture. And what we're going to do is press the tops of the feet into the floor, press the hands down, engage and lift the tummy button and lift those knees up off the ground. We're going to hold here for 2 big breaths and 1 big breath. And slowly lower the knees back down. Okay? And what that will do is start to strengthen arms, shoulders, upper body, but also our core. Okay? So making sure we've got a strong tabletop before we start will ensure that when you lift up, you're engaging the correct muscles. So you may want to start doing this for 2 breaths. The next time you do it, you might want to come up for 3 big breaths, then 4, then 5. So gradually increase the length of time that you can hold yourself up into that position. If you wish to develop this further, what you can then do is actually take yourself back into a full plank pose and soften the knees down to take a 3/4 plank. And then you can explore lifting up into full plank. Okay? And that will just take it a little bit further and again build up this upper body strength. The second posture, the second set of movements I'd like you to think about is something that will help to strengthen the triceps here at the backs of the arms, which are notorious for not being the strongest muscles in the body, and something that certainly I had to work on when I began practicing yoga. For the strong positions like plank and also chaturanga, where you're hovering in a plank with your arms in this position. Let me quickly show you what I mean by chaturanga. When you're in this position where you've got your forearms parallel to the rib cage here. So that requires a fair bit of strength here. Okay, so again, we come up to tabletop. And what we're simply going to do is from our tabletop position is do a few little tricep dips. So we now allow the elbow creases to point forwards and we just bend the elbows down and slowly lift them up. And I would flow with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. And start by just bending the elbows a little bit. We don't want to take the elbows out, we want to take them down. So what we're doing is targeting these muscles here. We want to try not to bend down here. We want to try to allow the chin and chest to come down towards the mat. So we're aiming for heads to be coming down here. So I've got quite a lot of pattern on my mat, which I find quite handy because it gives me something to focus on. So my fingertips are on this green line. My gaze is here at this patterned bit of the mat. So as I lower, I'm trying to take my head down towards this patterned area and back up. Now when you first start, you perhaps just want to bend a little bit, and then eventually you'll be able to bend a little bit lower and then all the way back up again. And you could start by just doing a couple of these and then build up 3, 4, 5. So you're increasing the number of times you do it, but also increasing the depth that you go to. And then eventually, as you move through your practice, you'll be able to step those feet back, lift those knees up and transition from plank to chaturanga because you'll have that arm strength there. But what this will do is it will prevent you from compromising the shoulders, the shoulder girdle, because what can happen if you don't have the core strength, the upper body strength, and we're trying to dip the triceps, is sometimes it compromises some of the complex muscles and this joint of the shoulder and shoulder girdle that can get damaged quite easily. So I would always rather practice from this box position, building up the muscles required gradually and then only lifting the knees up when you need to, if that makes sense. Now there is one little variation on that which I often teach in classes, which has a little bit more flow to it, and it's just building on the simple dipping motion, and I call it a swooping cat. So for our swooping cat, this is our variation here. We bend the elbows, we swoop forwards on the inhale, and take a little cat stretch on the exhale. So it flows with the breath, swooping forwards, exhaling, okay? So you can go very shallow if you wish, just a little bit to take small circles, or you can dip really low and take a big exhale. So you can build that one up as well. Okay, so essentially we have two separate exercises for you to practice there for building up arm strength. Let me recap. We have tabletop, lifting the knees. We have our little tricep dips, followed by our swooping cat. Okay, so there's a few different variations included with those two sort of essential tricep dip and lifting the knees variations. So I hope they give you some things to sort of work on and play with and practice when you come to the yoga mat. So if you find that building up upper body strength, upper arm strength is something you wish to work on, then this is hopefully the video that will help you. If you have any questions about anything I've covered, please do contact me, and I look forward to seeing you in a class soon. Thank you very much.